Gonzo Sports Rant. I'm your host, Tyler Gonzo. The NFL season has come to an end, and we are now in the postseason. Analysts are calling it the year of the injury. Countless stars injured during the regular season. It's crazy. From Odell Beckham Jr. to Carson Wentz, countless star players got injured. Season-ending injuries, nagging injuries. They've all been hurt, and it's affecting the playoffs. It started off with Teddy Bridgewater, ended with Carson Wentz. Well, I'm going to go over the season, talk about it a little bit, see what we've learned. For starters, there's been some movement as far as playoff teams towards the end of the season. You know, you got your mainstays, the Patriots and the Steelers. Then you throw in some new teams, such as the Jags, the Bills, the Titans, Rams, Eagles. The teams we're used to seeing aren't always there anymore. The Seahawks, looks like their dynasty's coming to an end. Let's see, who else? The Cowboys. Everybody thought that getting a young quarterback in, getting Tony Romo out, fresh running game with Ezekiel Elliott, thought Dak Prescott was the next star young quarterback. That didn't turn out so well this season. 6 games without Ezekiel Elliott seemed to really hurt them. But what are some common traits of these playoff teams? For starters, quarterback. If you go through all these teams, with the exception of the Jags and the Bills, maybe, all these teams have franchise quarterbacks. Reliable, consistent guys that don't turn the ball over, don't make the big mistake, and can give you plays when you need them. Now, Blake Bortles and Tyrod Taylor, yeah, they're serviceable. Yeah, they'll get you there, but they're not stars. But you know what? Half the teams in the NFL would take them as a starter or maybe a, competition, because, they may not be the greatest, but hey, they're going to put in their work and they're going to get you to the playoffs, because look what they did. They're in the playoffs. The next one is a running game. Every one of these teams has some sort of consistent running game. The Eagles have a great running game. The Rams have Todd Gurley, who just is a beast. The Bills have Shady McCoy. The Jags have Leonard Fournette. The Patriots always have a running game. You don't know who it's going to be, but they've always got a running game. The Steelers got Le'Veon Bell. Look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs, go get Kareem Hunt, a rookie, and they got Tyreek Hill. They're doing something as a run game. It may not be conventional, but they're running the ball. And the last one, the most important one, which is always overlooked by casual fans and hardcore fans alike, is pass rush. Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. It's so important. If you look at every single playoff team, again, with the exception for the Patriots, because they're always the outlier. They always do crazy things and somehow end up in the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. Every single team has a pass rush. You can line up 4 down or 3 linemen and an outside rusher and get to the quarterback and affect the play every single time. That's what it takes to be in the playoffs. That's why these teams are there, and that's why the other teams aren't, such as the Bucks and, the Browns. These teams don't have a pass rush. They're not going to get to the quarterback. Some other takeaways from this season. I've got no idea what a catch is. 0 idea. I don't think anyone knows what a catch is anymore. Is it 2 feet, a body part, football move? There's no push-out rule anymore. No one knows what a catch is. Another takeaway I have is money trumps all. With the threat of Roger Goodell, commissioner, to the teams saying, hey, we don't really like this kneeling thing. It's bad for our ratings, bad for our fanship. Maybe I should tone that down a little bit. I saw a stat the other day. There was over 100 players kneeling at the beginning of the season. The last regular season game, there was 7. And where did that go? The media just stopped covering it. It just disappeared. Oh, well, Roger Goodell and the owner said, ratings on Thursday Night Football are down over 30%. Yeah, that hurts our pocketbook in the long run. Let's stop kneeling. Hey guys, we know you want to be social activists, but Let's tone it down a little bit, get back to playing football and making some money for our pockets. Another takeaway I have is what this targeting rule, it's a good idea. People need to be safe. The game needs to be safer. People get hurt, concussions, neck injuries, spinal cord injuries. It's bad. But this rule makes no sense. If you watch the Bucks game, O.J. Howard coming across the middle, catches the ball, gets hit, ball flies out of his hands, and there's a flag thrown for targeting, right? Then they come back and go, oh, actually he caught the ball and fumbled it, so he's not a defenseless receiver, so it's not targeting, so there's no flag, and it's a fumble. It took 20 minutes for them to figure that out, but it came out of nowhere. Everyone was sitting around going, what just happened? We don't understand the rule. It doesn't make sense. All of this started, and I'm going to sound crazy, I know, but this is my true belief. All this craziness with targeting and head injuries and CTE and concussions and brain injuries all started when you made the helmets hard. You want to take away concussions and spinal cord injuries and CTE and all that, take the helmets off of them. Take the face mask off, take the helmet off. Put some leather on their heads to prevent skull fractures. You're not going to take away concussions and spearing and targeting with a flag or a fine. You're paying these players millions of dollars. If they have talent, they're going to be on the field. They're going to get a chance to play. In the history of the NFL, I've only seen one player completely blackballed, and that was Ray Rice. That had nothing to do with on the field. Just look at Vontaze Burfict. Vontaze Burfict is known to be the dirtiest player in the NFL. Gets fined and suspended every other week, and he still has a job. He still plays every week that he's eligible to play. Money trumps all. They're gonna play him, whether he causes 1,000 concussions or doesn't. You want the concussions and the brain injuries and all that to stop? Take the helmets off of them. You want to talk about a man sport? Take the helmets off of them. Look at rugby. Rugby is, if you're doing a percentage, it's 90% American football and 10% Australian rules football. Take the helmets off of them. I've never heard anyone complain about, oh, there's too many concussions in rugby. I've never heard that. All right, let's go on to the Bucks. They had an interesting season. I'm going to call it the season of missed opportunities. If they would have just had a decent kicker from the beginning of the season, their season could have been completely different. Along with injuries and missed free agent signings and missed draft picks, they lost 6 games by 1 score or less. 6 games by 7 or less points. They lost 4 of those by a field goal or less points. 3 or less points, they lost 4 games. The problem on offense, the offensive line was horrible before they got hurt. And they actually played better once the starters went out, which is crazy to me. They moved a Pro Bowl All-Pro guard on offense to center, and we had problems. They took the best player at his position and moved him to not a position, and look what it got us. You've got nobody that can make a play on offense. Every player on our offensive side of the ball is a one-trick pony. You got Mike Evans who can jump over people, and you got Deshaun Jackson that can run past people. That's it. We have 0 pass rush on defense, which makes our corners, safeties, linebackers look miserable. Everybody's going, we can't cover anybody. We can't cover anybody. Well, guess what? I don't care who you got out there. If it's Adrian Peterson, you got, the best corner ever, Deion Sanders out there. You put him out there, he can't cover for 10 seconds or 6 seconds. NFL corners cover for 3 seconds, and then the play should be over by then. Darrelle Revis in his heyday, his prime, was a press shutdown man corner, could not cover for more than 4 seconds. I don't care who he's going against. You can't cover for more than 4 seconds. They're going to get open. You need a pass rush. Gerald McCoy is the only person we have on our defensive line that can get any sort of pass rush. And then people are going, oh, Gerald McCoy's invisible. He needs to show up more when he's getting double teamed. What? Oh, so you're telling me Gerald McCoy, when he has two guys focusing on him, isn't doing enough, but we're not going to look at any of the other players? What do you expect him to do? You gotta help him out. Robert Ayers not enough. Chris Baker needs to be cut like immediately. First thing in the offseason, cut Chris Baker, cut Deshaun Jackson. Horrible. Okay, on offense, who do we have that is a playmaker? We don't have any difference makers. We have all role players, and that's what Jason Light has been drafting. Role players. We need difference makers. You don't need a guy who's he's gonna play his 15 snaps and he's okay, but he's not gonna impress anybody. You need all Pro Bowl players. You need can't miss prospects. You don't need we'll take a flyer on this guy, or hey, we'll develop him. No, get a top round talent. I'm okay. Spend a couple draft picks to trade up and get the best player in the draft. Go get him. Look at the Browns. Okay, listen, the Browns went 0-16. I get it. But they got Myles Garrett, who was the best defensive lineman in the draft. They are building. They don't have a quarterback, but they're building. You can see every game they were in this year, with the exception of like 2, they were competitive. They competed. They did not get blown out. The Bucs got blown out 2 or 3 times, and we were projected to go to the playoffs. I don't see the disconnect here. Go get some difference makers. The next thing the Bucs did was they kept Dirk Cutter, which I'm all for. Everybody thought, oh, hey, we're going to get John Gruden. He's going to come out of the booth to coach the Bucs. Well, okay, morons. I said it weeks ago. We just put his name on the building. You're not going to tell John Gruden, hey, come back and coach the Bucs, even though you just put your name on the building. Oh, but hey, if you screw up, we're taking your name down. You can't do that. What happens if he comes back and he screws up? John Gruden screwed up a Super Bowl winning team. He took that team, dismantled until he got fired. And the Bucs have not been back to the playoffs since. The best we've done is a 10-win season where we still didn't go to the playoffs. The only person I would have taken if we let go of Cutter was Bruce Arians, because he's retiring or supposed to be retiring. We don't know yet. Put Jameis Winston or Bruce Arians, the quarterback whisperer, Ben Roethlisberger, Andrew Luck. He's coached these guys. Put Jameis Winston in that. Tell me he won't be successful. Tell me he didn't take Carson Palmer, a throwaway from Cincinnati, and make him a Pro Bowler. In the playoffs multiple years, shot at the Super Bowl. And then in the draft. Let's go to the draft. I'm putting my foot down right now, and I'm making a stand right now. If the Bucs do not draft a pass rusher in the first round, I am leading, personally, I'll be out in front of an angry mob with pitchforks and torches outside of One Buck Place rioting. If you want to join me, you can. Because it is absolutely ridiculous if they do not, first of all, sign another defensive lineman such as DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm crossing my fingers. Throw him the paychecks. Throw him your pocketbook. Throw him all the money we have. Sign DeMarcus Lawrence. Cut Chris Baker. Sign DeMarcus Lawrence. Then go draft Bradley Chubb or maybe somebody else that's a top lineman, but it needs to be in the first round. You don't need to wait till the 4th and 5th round. I just saw a mock draft the Bucs posted. Okay, on Buccaneers.com, they posted, hey, our mock draft is we're going to get an offensive guard from Notre Dame. No offensive lineman. They can wait. You can develop those. We've already shown that we take 2 guys in the 3rd and 4th round, and they play better than our starters. Okay, we've already shown that. Pass rusher. Then you can go for O-line and anybody else. I just want to touch back on the Gruden thing. Somebody needs to put out an APB to the Vegas PD for bank robbery. You kidding me? John Gruden, 10 years, $100 million, and they're talking about full control of the organization and stake and ownership? Are you kidding me? It comes official Tuesday, and we'll find out all the details then. Are you kidding me? $100 million, 10 years. John Gruden, First of all, I was an idiot for even, like, he would have been an idiot if he didn't take that, because I would have taken that. Anybody should have taken that. But the Raiders, what are you thinking? He left y'all. He agreed to a trade to leave you guys and then kicked your butt in the Super Bowl and embarrassed you. Really? Then you go pay him $100 million? Hey, if that's what you want to do, go ahead, man. You got the money, spend it. But I'm sure glad I didn't come to the Bucs because that's too much money. Well, that was a good season, guys. I'll be doing some more podcasts and talking about some other sports such as hockey and maybe a little baseball stuff. We'll be hoping football season isn't too far away. Until next time, I'm Tyler Gonzo, signing off. See ya!